Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the first edition of Yuki's Content Corner, the podcast talking about YouTube, Facebook, Twitch in terms of content creation, outside of streaming, in and out of streaming, analytical, and otherwise. I am Retro Yuki, and let's get started with today's premiere episode talking about layouts, or overlays if you prefer that word. Layouts and overlays allow you to not only give the stream information, but also interact with your audience. You might be wondering, how come I make a lot of overlays and layouts? And you might be wondering, how does that improve your quality of streaming? Well, today we'll be talking about that. First, what is a layout or overlay? Good question. Here's an example, and you probably know about this particular layout because I've been showing it to you guys for our Mario stream. And just so happens that tonight we are having Mario. 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and 8:45 p.m. Pacific and 11:45 p.m. Eastern. The late show. So here we have a layout or overlay. So what kind of information does a layout or overlay entail? That is actually depending on the streamer. However, as you can tell, this is a Mario layout, and the reason why you can tell is because the background is Super Mario World, and you can see that we have a star from Mario and we have a Bowser icon. So let me explain my layout here and why I made this possible. First, on the top left, you have the information about our ROM hack. We're playing a ROM hack at this point, so that's what it is. And we have an image of a ROM hack called Super Mario 64: The Green Stars by Case Emanuel and Campbell 125. How do I know this? Because as you can see, I labeled the authors of the hack. How many stars there are? I wonder. Oh, there's 130. And how many bonus points can you earn on romhacking.com if you complete the game 100%? You can earn 50 points. I'm not going to be diving deep into how many the point system and all. I just want to show you how the layout works. Underneath that, I actually moved it. The progress is 74 out of 130. This means we have collected 74 out of the 130 stars. Now, you do not need to collect all 130 to beat the game. You just need to beat Bowser, Final Bowser, which we're about to get into later tonight. However, you do need 130 stars if you want that 50 bonus point money there. 50 bonus points for your romhacking.com profile. You may have noticed there's a goal. There's a goal. Now, if we beat the goal, then we're good on Mario. We essentially are good at the hack. I decided to put it at 90 out of 130. But that's just because I want to go for extra stars tonight before we beat Bowser. Then, on the bottom of that, we have game voting. You can vote for a game. Now, you might be wondering, how can you vote? Well, thanks to YouTube, you can vote on the game on the poll. And I combine both channels for the poll. Same question and both poll get calculated. So for example, as you can see, I'm going to turn it on, but we don't have an actual game right now because we already did. As you can see here, crossover month, which refers to next month, we're going to be celebrating crossover month. So all the hacks that we're going to play in April have to do with a crossover. So for example, we're going to be playing Super Mario 64 Clock Tower, which is a crossover from Mario and Zelda, because the Clock Tower appears in Legend of Zelda. So that's another hack that we're going to play. Okay, so that's the winner. Alright? So you guys can interact with this in a way. Then you may have noticed that on the bottom there we have ROM hack stats. How many total stars I collected all throughout my ROM hack history. How many times have we completed a ROM hack 100%? How many times we beat a ROM hack just by beating Bowser? And how many total points I have in romhacking.com? 325 is the number. So you get information like that. And then finally on the bottom there, how can you find me? I have different YouTube channels for different games, including next week when we start the horror games and anime games. So obviously speaking, Retroyuki Productions is my main channel. This is for like VR chat, highlight videos and all that good stuff. And if I want to stream there, I will. Mario Yuki, obviously what type of games are we going to see there? Mario games. And then next weekend, we're going to start Anime Yuki. We're going to start horror games and Horror Yuki. Oh, and by the way, little hint. The Anime Yuki channel has a new avatar. I'm not going to show you what it is. All I'm going to say, there's a certain name for this avatar that you may have you know about on my main channel. And you can follow me on Kick Retroyuki. And just added for this layout. If you like the hack, here's the download link. I give it to you also in the description. Okay? And you may have noticed in the top middle, my recent subscriber, my recent Twitch sub follow. I wish I had Twitch subscribers, but I can't. I'm not affiliated yet. So this is an example of a interactive layout, if you will. Now, there's more. Hold on, there is more. Because I want to show you guys something. In the thumbnail, you notice another layout with Francis the Hedgehog. That's an example of another layout which I would like to present to you for this episode of Yuki's Content Corner. So how do I make the layouts happen? This is something called Canva. And Canva is a service for free, or if you want to go extra mile, subscription service that you can make your own thumbnails for YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and other services. Oh, and by the way, not just those services either. You can also make a document or even a website. Yes, I'm not kidding. No cap. So, how can you navigate Canva? So this is how I'm doing that layout I just presented. So I just move around things, click, drag, all that, and you can edit the text. And if you're really good, you can edit the image right away, right off the bat. I will tell you I'm using Canva for the horror game, Horror Yuki channel, and the Anime Yuki channel, which is coming out next week. Which will start next week. It's gonna be hard this weekend just because I wanna play another hack before we get into Star World. Haha, preview next week. Star World, we're gonna do it. Okay, so why can you not just show your face and stuff? I'm gonna explain why in a moment. So so let's talk about my other layouts, including that Francis the Hedgehog layout that I presented to you. So if we go to projects, so as you can see, I am presenting a few of these. But the layout does not have to be just for a stream. It can be for an end screen. This is an example of a layout, but for an end screen. So for Francis the Hedgehog Reacts, I have check out my newest upload or my suggestion. Okay? You can move this around. That's an example of a layout, but for an end screen. Then we have some more. Let's say this one. This is one of the thumbnail. As you can see here, I changed it a little bit. Now you may be wondering what happened to the recent sub, recent follower. For this one in particular, what I wanted to do, but I didn't get to do it, was a Let's Play series with Francis the Hedgehog playing Super Mario Universe, a ROM hack for Super Mario World by HenDog30. But what are the elements here? The elements are almost the same as my main layout I just showed you from Mario. The title screen, the image on the top left is from the ROM hack. On the bottom left corner, you see Francis the Hedgehog and his warp pipe from Mario. So I combined two things. On the right of that, you see the information about the ROM hack. So the title is Super Mario Universe, the author is HenDog30, the base game is Super Mario World. On the right of that, how many exits or levels? 30. What's the difficulty? Standard normal. What is the source? So SMW Central. So that's how we did the layout, how I did the layout for Francis the Hedgehog if I ever return to Francis the Hedgehog plays. But because of the way we're doing our channels now, Mario Yuki is going to be the main play. Okay? So I might even draw inspiration from this. Okay? For content. But what else defies a layout? That's just two examples I just showed you. And both of them look complicated. But why? Why can you not just do a normal layout? But what do you mean by normal layout, you might ask? Well, look at it this way. If we Google a Twitch overlay template, what is the most common thing that you see? Besides alerts and all these crazy graphics. The most common thing you see is a face cam. Now, that's not to say it's a bad layout. No, that's not my point. However, my point with that and the difference between this and what I just showed you with Mario and Francis the Hedgehog, if we put this side by side, this is my layout for Mario. But when we talk about Twitch and YouTube, this is what you get if you Google a template. But why? Why is this different from that? Each layout is different. But why do I make it my own? Because most of the time, when you find a layout from somebody who makes them, this is what you're gonna get. Now it looks nice and all, I love it, but everybody, I'm gonna tell you now, 95% of those who have a layout have two things in common when it comes to the actual gameplay scene: a camera and the game. That's it. That's the most common. The camera, face cam, or in my case, because I'm using my avatar cam, and then you also have the gameplay. It's not bad, but 95% of streamers have the same thing. So my point is, can you make a layout that lets you stand out? Because most of the time, when you're talking about, oh, I'm gonna give you a layout, this is what you're gonna get. And again, those are cool. I'm not gonna cap. Those look absolutely gorgeous. I'm not gonna cap with that. However, most of the time you're gonna get the most common thing: face cam, face cam or avatar cam plus the gameplay. That's it. Maybe a few of you would do your socials on the actual layout too, just like I have them. But can you go above and beyond? For example, like I showed you, with my Mario layout, I presented, let's say, the title of the game in a way. I presented the game voting. And because I'm part of romhacking.com, I presented my stats. Sometimes in video games, you're going to get those complicated, interesting layouts for Call of Duty. Let me show you one example. So if we do a Call of Duty layout, in particular Call of Duty layout, so what can you expect with a Call of Duty layout? You can, well, besides the normal stuff, there's something else. If you are in those professional, like professional league, or you want to showcase your stats, Warzone wins or W's, then you want to present that. But you do that in a very particular way. For example, there's a website that allows you to present your stats on your screen, on your stream. So that's actually a thing for Call of Duty stuff. So for example, this layout has the following. Has your recent follower like normal, your recent dono, your recent sub, your recent cheer, your recent dono, I mean your top dono, but also something else. Unless this game has it correctly, there's a power bar. Now you might be wondering, what is a power bar? Power bar is this puppy right here. So on the top left you have a map of the Call of Duty game. But on the bottom you have a sprint speed. You can actually see the sprint speed has a little bit of a background. That background is not there. That was part of the overlay. Okay. You also see on the bottom with the weapon stuff. That's not part of the layout. That's not part of the game. That's part of the layout. He put a background on it like a power bar. Or whoever made this power bar. So that's what you call power bar. Oh, and let's not forget, let me give you another example. Here's another example. And it just happens to be one of my favorite buddies about mine, who I watch a lot and I mod for. I would like to present to you Jimmy Duke's Gaming for today's other example. Why do I choose Jimmy Duke's Gaming? Not only he's my buddy on Facebook, but he has a power bar I would like to present. He's not live right now as of this moment because he won't go live until in the morning. But I'm going to show you in Fortnite. Let me go ahead and fast forward here. So this is his intermission screen, ladies and gentlemen. No cap. Now I will tell you he is also an affiliate on Twitch. Make sure you guys follow. But here's his overlay. As you can see here, the intermission screen. Please wait. You can see that we have the live chat. We have his face cam. But he also has his star goal, subs goal on Twitch, his supporters goal on the Facebook, because he's also a Facebook supporter thing. As you can see here, he also has this on the top right. He has his Twitter handle, and it's an animated Twitter handle. So if we continue playing the video here, as you can see, Twitter, Jimmy Dukes Gaming, please follow him. He's a very good boy. Very good, handsome too. Handsome guy too. He also has his Facebook. He just changed his scene, by the way. That's animated. I believe he found that. So this is his face cam stream with scene with the live chat. Now we're gonna go straight into gameplay. I want you guys to pay attention to what he has. As you can see on the bottom left corner, he has his own power bar. That's not there in the game. That's not there in Fortnite. He made that. Or he probably had somebody do it. But as you can see, This is his power bar. So when you see power bar, you know that he actually made it or somebody made it for him. You can also do a power bar for the right side of your screen. You have your weapons and ammo and all that good stuff. Now, sometimes you don't do that just because it might be too much on the screen, but it's there just in case. Now, don't go crazy with power bars. Okay? Don't go too nutsy. Don't go nutsy with power barring because there's a lot of power bar that you can make. For Fortnite, you can make the weapon here. You can just put something on the background. That's pretty neat. So that is his gameplay scene. Okay. Now he does not have a power bar for the. Now when he goes back to intermission, he has an animated one. As you can see, the power bar is still active. He's about to change scene in just a moment here, and this is also animated. As you can see, I believe he found that. So as you can see, back to the intermission scene, he's getting ready for the next game. And then we rotate it again. So that is his overlay. And you may have noticed I forgot to mention something else. On the left side there, he has the recent like because he's part of Facebook. He has the recent the follow. I believe he has a recent follow there too. I believe that's an event list. So he has a lot going, but it's interactive. That is what people like. And that is why layout's an important factor of a stream. The more interactive you have, the more likely you're going to get somebody on the name. Because, for example, recent follower. The recent follower wants to get recognized because there's a thing called instant gratification. You want to be gratified. You want to be gratified right away. If I come to your stream and I see my name or my username in this case on your stream under the recent follower, then I'm going to be instantly gratified because I'm part of your community. Now, of course, if at least you have an event list, I'm one of your recent followers, I'm still there. Now, if your name doesn't appear, it's just because there's a new follower or there's a new 5 followers there, but you're still part of the community. And that's why it makes it sense to make a layout. Now, here's the do's and don'ts about layout development. Do's and don'ts about layout development. Okay, here we go. Number 1, do make your layout interactive. Don't make it too interactive. Don't be crazy and adding this. No. The main purpose of your layout is to give information. Most likely, most recent follower, most recent subscriber, top dono, or most recent donation, by the way. Those 4 are your main thing when it comes to stream. The next thing, do not make it too interactive. Also, don't make it too interactive. My Mario layout is good enough already. The only reason why I added the game voting is so that you can see how many votes for a particular game. So that I can tell you guys which one is the next one. But don't make it too much interactive. Like, for example, don't put a currency system like the Yuki coin. This is what I learned very recently. And I'm so happy I decided to stop the Yuki coin for a bit. I want to see what I can make with it. Because is anybody going to earn Yuki coin every stream? Yes. but how much do you earn? That's why I'm not ready yet. So instead of voting using YukiCoin, I say, you know what? Let me just use a YouTube post system. And so far it works. So don't make it too interactive where there's too many features. Make it interactive enough to have the people enjoy. And make it informative enough to keep the audience in play. Number 2, do recognize your recent follower and subscriber. Don't force it. So what is this about? So as you can see here, I have my recent sub and I have my recent follow on Twitch. Recent sub is on YouTube, by the way, because I don't have affiliate on Twitchy. So that's good that you recognize your recent sub and your recent follow. But what do I mean by don't force it? What I mean is don't just every 2 minutes. Say if you want to be on the board, that's my word. If you want to be on the board, please follow or please sub on YouTube. Don't do that. Here's why. The more times you say like, please follow, please like, please whatever, the more they're not going to do so. And that's because of something called retention and can you put their intention to your stream? Loss of interest is what I'm calling it. How interested are they in your stream first before they hit that follow, before they hit that sub, before they hit that kick sub, whatever? Are they interested enough to follow? Number 1. Are they interested enough to stay? That's number 2. How invested are the time to your stream? That's number 3. And number 4, is this the type of content they want to see? Number 4. If they check off all 4 boxes on the yes side, then they're going to follow. And they want to be on the board. And they want to be instantly gratified. But if not, then that's okay. There's plenty of fish in the sea of streaming. And trust me, there's going to be followers everywhere. Number 3. The third do and don't about a layout. Do make it your own. Don't copy. Okay. For this one, make it your own. Very, very, very straightforward. Make it your own in a way that allows you to make it fun. For example, this one, the layout for Mario. How do I make it my own? Or how I made it my own? So basically, I did not Google a Mario layout. I basically tried to brainstorm this layout. It's not perfect, obviously. There's no perfect thing. But it is something to go off of. What if I wanted to change it one time? I can do that. What if I decided, you know what, let me put a progress bar instead of a text for my stars? 74 out of 130. 74 out of 130 is, I think, more than 60%, I believe. I'm not going to do the math now. Nobody, I think, this is my guess. I don't think anybody else does the progress bar like that. Or I'm probably one of the few that thinks about, oh, like what will my viewers want to see? The progress bar or a text bar, or what do my viewers want to know about the game? That's what I'm thinking of in my head when I'm making layout. Second thing, how did I make it my own? I included a game voting system to vote for the next ROM hacker game, which is the voting system on YouTube, on the poll system. Maybe I can even include question of the day. Who knows? And then I also made it my own by including my ROM hack stats. How many points I have, how many total stars, how many times I completed the game 100%. Like that. And then the normal stuff, the follow me on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, etc. And I included the ROM hack link in that. Now, what do I mean by don't copy? Just because I have this layout does not mean you can have it. Okay? You cannot have this. Okay? You can make it your own. Okay? You want to try to make it your own because if you try to copy somebody, it's not going to look good on you. So you want to make it your own. Sure, you can take elements of a layout and try to make it your own. Yeah, but don't exactly copy for copy, word for word, color for color, etc. It's not going to look good on you as a streamer or content creator by itself. Number 4, do, let me think about this very carefully before I say this one. Do have a face cam. Actually, no. For layout, do have graphics. Don't overdo it. Very simple. Very, very simple. When you're making a layout, don't overdo graphics. That's not good. Okay? That is not good. Don't overdo it as well. Have enough graphics to make it interesting, but don't overdo it. And number 5, I think the biggest one. Do make a layout that has custom material. And finally, don't overpopulate your layout. Again, don't overpopulate. This layout is perfect enough for a Mario game. Okay? It's perfect. The only time I don't use this type of layout is when I'm doing a regular Mario game. Because a regular Mario game is basically the Mario game from Nintendo. The reason why I have this is because we're playing a ROM hack developed by a person in the community. And we're playing the case of Manuar. But don't overpopulate, as in don't put too much. All of a sudden, let's say you have a game of Mario 64 Green Stars 2. I'm just making that up, by the way. There is no Green Stars 2. I wish, but let's see if Case is going to do it. But anyway, let's say there's, oh, we're going to have Case, oh, Case is announced, Super Mario 64 The Green Stars 2. There's now 500 stars, and again, I'm just making this up. There's 500 stars, and for a bonus, you can have 100 points if you can get all 500. What you do not want to do, in a layout perspective, is every time you collect a star, is you're going to add a star on the layout. Like, as if you were going to, like, put stars. So if for every star, you're going to cover up the layout with star. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't overpopulate. That's why I presented this, the progress bar. Because the moment you overpopulate the layout, then you're not only your viewers are not going to see anything, then your viewers are going to be, where is Mario and all that. There is one exception, however. There is an exception to the rule. There is actually one very special exception. But only if you know what this is. So if there is a YouTube video So there's this YouTube challenge that actually did this, where he covered up the layout. However, this is only because it was a challenge. So I'm going to show you that particular video. As you can see here, we have by Doug Mario speedrun, but every 5 minutes the HUD gets worse. So what this is, it's a challenge. And for every 5 minutes, he's going to draw a wheel. And from that wheel, he has to put a HUD layout from that game. For example, Kingdom Hearts, because of Donald Duck. And then he actually makes up game name. He makes up a game name from it. He calls it Super Mario Kingdom Hearts Odyssey, Anime Fighter, Minecraft 64. No cap. I'm not kidding. He actually did that. So for example, I'm gonna use this video for example purposes only. So for this challenge, every 5 minutes the HUD gets worse, and basically he puts it on the layout. This is the only time you're allowed to put stuff on the layout that's not supposed to be there, and that's the challenge actually. So as you can see here, oh, it's a normal layout, it's just Mario, whatever. Oh, but wait, here's the wheel. Street Fighter. So he has to get the actual HUD from Street Fighter and put it on the stream. So this is how it looks like right there. Yes, that's right. Look at this. Look at this mess. But that is what happens every 5 minutes. So now we have stuff from Minecraft on the bottom. We have an Overwatch. We have Smash Brother. We have something from Legend of Zelda. We have a Pokemon HUD. We have Fortnite. We have, I believe on the bottom here is the NBA HUD from TNT, as in the actual scoreboard from a game. Brooklyn Nets and the Miami Heat. And no, that's not a possible score, by the way, because that's at 3 minutes left. But you get my point. So basically, he makes a name out of this game. So you have to pick. It's very funny. Okay? It's very cool. But this is the only time you can actually put a lot of graphics on a layout when you're doing a challenge like this. Okay? So here's how he does it. So he basically puts it in Photoshop. And you get something like that. Oh yeah, a little bit of GTA in there too. It's called the Mario Speedrun HUD Challenge. Oh, and by the way, it's every 5 minutes he has to change it. He has to basically use Photoshop on stream, and he has to do it on his layout. Now, I'm gonna tell you now, this stream is not 17 minutes. This video is. Yeah, that's right. He puts it on the layout. Now, viewers can't see anything on the bottom right. But remember, this is a challenge. So he has to run from old school RuneScape. Next one is going to be Persona 5. And we're talking about the HUD. So all of a sudden, on Mario World, it's Monday. It's Monday. And then another one, another spin. Let's see what he got. Fallout 3. All of a sudden, this game became, let's see where it is. Yeah, oh, right there. So this game is no longer called Super Mario Odyssey. This game is called Super Mario Fallout RuneScape or RuneScape Persona Odyssey or something like that. So this is an example of a layout too, although it's part of a challenge. So, so what is the purpose of this video? This was to show you guys how entertaining or how cool layouts can be. Just keep in mind what you have to do. You have to make it informative, you have to make it fun, and you have to make it cool. And if you're going to do a challenge, you guys can do so. That's going to be a lot of fun if we're going to do that. We'll see you guys on the next Yuki's Content Corner. And the next one we'll be talking about is the Kick platform. Is Kick worth it? Find out when I do that episode. But as always, don't forget to live life to the fullest and enjoy.